The year 2020 has been a year of change. Global changes have included COVID-19 pandemic, which has resulted in us all having to change our ways, especially with traveling on a global scale. Cutting down air traffic has bound many to their place when the regulations came. The world is not as small or open anymore as it used to be. On a regional scale, there have been wildfires and other natural catastrophes. In societies, some people have demanded rights that they should have by default, more visibly than in years, and there have been demonstrations and confrontations in many places around the world. Individually, people have also gone through changes. Some have lost or quit their job, some found a new one. Some have faced economic challenges and some have overcome them. Relatives, family members and friends have passed away and babies have been born. Relationships have been broken and new have been formed. We haven't been able to see some people important to us physically, but we've been able to connect to them and many others via technology. Children have had to do learning outside of school context and stay away from their important social groups. Adults have had to learn working from home, some meanwhile helping their children in education. We all have faced changes of some kind this year, big or small. We face changes normally also, but this year it has been more rapid, more serious and more visible, and more in number and ways. My name is Jani Kontkanen and you are listening to Mitä pelataan podcast. This series is called Paragons of Change. It's a series of interviews with people from boardgaming sphere whom I've noticed going through changes in recent times. We talk about change and what they have changed in their lives. By default, we do not claim we state facts. We only talk from our own points of view and our opinions. As the discussion might take a negative note at times, we try to finish with a positive, by giving you a top 9 list of games. The topic of the list has been chosen by the guest, and we will have a battle of the lists after the episode airs in my social media channels. You, dear listener, are encouraged to comment and vote on the lists to see which one of us did better. The award is pride and fame among the small listener base this podcast has. Now, let's invite our Paragon for today. So, this time we have the third guest in the Paragons of Change series, and today we are joined by the Cardboard Kid. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, if people don't know who you are, can you tell them who you are?
Okay, so I review board games on YouTube and I post what board games I play on Twitter. I've been doing this since spring 2017, so I've been doing it for quite a while now. I review all sorts of games. I review heavy games like On Mars, which is on Board Game Geek, like in the 4s. And I've played and reviewed games like Takayo, which is like super, super light, like 1.3 or something like that. So
You said On Mars. Is it? Do you like heavy games more or lighter games more, or it doesn't matter as long as the game is good?
Yeah, to me, I like heavy games. I like light games. Personally, I prefer heavy games a little bit more, but I still enjoy light games.
That's actually quite good. Do you want the listeners know how old you are if you're playing On Mars? You don't have to say the age if you don't want to say the age.
Okay, I was, I think we played it earlier this year, so I was 10.
Okay, but that's quite early for heavy games, so I tip my hat to you because it's very well done.
Thank you.
In my opinion, at least. How about this year? It has been colored by this coronavirus situation, and has it been visible in where you live, and in what way?
Yeah, for us, we're not in lockdown anymore, but we're still, masks have been made mandatory. The laws have been changing a little, so that way we're always wearing masks. You have the choice to go to online school or public schooling. So if you feel uncomfortable of people not wearing masks, let's say, then you can drop out of school
Mm-hmm.
or public school. You can't really drop
Mm-hmm.
out of school.
You said about the school. Have you been distance learning or have you been going to school since the spring?
Well, for spring, in March, when everything was locked down for us,
Hmm.
I was doing online schooling. But this school year, I've been doing public schooling.
It's the same here.
Right.
It was distance learning in spring and now the kids went to school and let's see what happens a bit later.
Exactly.
It's not getting any easier, it seems. How did you feel about the distance learning? Did you like it?
For maybe like a week, I liked it, but not after that. I missed my teacher. Like my teacher was fantastic. Like I missed out on so many subjects. I mean, we still kind of got to do them, but we didn't get to do our field trips. We didn't get to do science experiments. Like it was disappointing, but it had to be done.
Yeah, of course. Health first. Did your teacher provide you some kind of teaching online, or did they give you like a exercise package that do this at home on your own time, or how was it? Was it like a scheduled distance teaching?
Yeah, every day we were given an online presentation, and there were like links to online websites. Sometimes we had to print something out, take a picture, and then send it through email of our work. So most of it was like fully online, like not like any paper packets unless you had to print something out.
Okay, that's interesting to me because we also had this thing, and I'm teacher educator myself at the university where they are training the teachers here, so this is really interesting to me, this topic, and I'm an ICT teacher by profession, so
Right.
it's all the different aspects and how it's done is very interesting. You said that it was possible to choose if you stay home or if you go to school. Was it in the spring? Do you know, or do you have an idea that if most of the students went to school or if they stayed home?
In the spring, we had no choice to go to school or not. We had to stay home. But here if we wanted to stay home, if we wanted to go back to school, there were entry dates throughout the year. So one was October, one was January, and one was March. I don't understand going back next March because that's only like not enough time to properly meet your teacher.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you stay online the whole year or you stay in public school the whole year. Like, that's really it.
Okay. Here they did so that the teaching was moved so that everyone went home except kids that had to go to school. In a way, kids with special needs or such, they went to school. And then the teachers were giving the classes online through Zoom or Teams, and the students were sitting at home watching the class. So it was done virtually, not like they didn't give a package that has to be done, but majority of teachers and majority of schools were doing so that it's still happening according to the schedule of the class. And that was quite heavy for the teachers, I'm sure, and also the parents, because the parents had to make sure that the kids are studying at the time when they are supposed to study. Would you have preferred that kind of teaching, that the teacher would have given the classes online, virtually, with the same schedule as it was in the school in the spring? What do you think?
I don't know. I think I still would have preferred public. Like, you were saying that your teacher went through like Zoom, used Zoom or something to teach her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had something similar to that, but we didn't teach. Our teacher didn't teach the lessons. We just had like weekly checkups on how we were doing.
That's what I'm wondering. That would you prefer that way or the way that the classes are given, like from 8 to 2 every day, and the teacher is teaching everything, and you are responsible for learning at home, but that you have basically the school, but you are just at home? Which way would you prefer? A package or virtual teaching?
I think I would have preferred virtual teaching because then I could still at least, yeah, see my teacher and my
Mm.
classmates. So, very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the kids liked it a lot, but the parents didn't like it that much because it was every day, all day, the teaching happening. So someone has to be home, especially if it's a small child. So you can't leave them alone at home.
Right,
So,
yeah,
but
exactly.
I think it was really good for the kids, in my opinion. I think they did really good here. But the teachers and parents were so burnt out in summer that it's not even possible to understand. But
Right.
that's why it's interesting how it's done in Canada now. That how the teaching was during spring. How is the autumn now? Are all the kids back at school or just some?
Just a few. Some are at home because they have symptoms. Nobody in our
Mm-hmm.
school has actually gotten tested positive yet,
Mm-hmm.
but some have COVID symptoms. Some their siblings or somebody in their family has been tested positive, so they're quarantining
Mm-hmm.
themselves. So, um, so yeah, we haven't had a full class since the first day that we came back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you afraid that you will catch something when you go to school?
Not really. We have a great guidelines schedule,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just worried that somebody in our school, like not necessarily me or somebody in my class, but I'm just
Mm-hmm.
worried that somebody in our school, especially since the littler kids, um, they're not masks are not mandatory for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just worried that one of them will get sick, and then
Then the whole school will go to quarantine.
yes,
Mm. Here they are trying to restrict so that the classes don't meet each other even during the intermissions or anything. So there was one case here in one school, and we've had very few in the area where I live. Except now we tripled our number in 2 weeks because there were two places with mass infections. But here in the school, like one kid had a positive test, and that class didn't meet any other classes during the week, so or during the day when the positive test came. So they only had to quarantine that one class, not the whole school. So they are doing that way here, and that's very good in my opinion.
yeah, for us, our classes have our recess break into cohorts. Cohort A is like a few classes, and there's different areas in the schoolyard where you can go. Like, so in the first recess, we're at the little kid park.
Mm-hmm.
Second recess, we're on the big field.
Mm-hmm.
And third recess, we're at the other park, but not the little kid park. We have two parks. Three,
Yeah,
actually, but
that's good actually. So
yeah,
you don't meet everyone either.
yeah.
That's good.
We're not as confined as you or as your classes, but
Mm-hmm.
we're still doing pretty well here.
Yeah, that's good. That's what kind of image I have from Canada, that you are doing quite well there, unlike your southern neighbors.
Yeah.
What was the best thing or the biggest benefit of studying at home? Was there any? But if you have to choose one benefit or the one best thing, what was it?
Well, if you got frustrated at your work, you could just like take like a few minute break and then like
Mm-hmm.
get back to your work, or like you could go into a different subject in the future because since ours were in presentations, you didn't have to necessarily do it in the order that the
Mm-hmm.
presentation is. You could do, let's say, math first and then social studies, as opposed to social studies and then math. Like, so we had some freedom on choosing what subjects we wanted first. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the benefit.
I thought that you would say that you got to play games all day,
No.
but maybe that's not. You replied with the learning related benefit, and that's what I was asking for. The most negative thing I think was not seeing your teacher, if I
Yeah.
understood right from the earlier. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Mm, how has it been to you? Do you think you yourself have changed in the process? It might be difficult to evaluate that yet, but what do you think? Have you changed yourself, some work methods or something?
I think I've definitely improved on some parts, but I haven't worked on everything that our teacher has planned. So I didn't get to improve on what we were going to work on. I had to improve on just the general subject. I couldn't work on a specific part. So I wouldn't say that I changed really, but I didn't get worse, which is good.
That's good. Yeah. I thought that maybe you learned some kind of like individual working skills or something. I thought if you noticed such changes, but of course if you didn't notice such changes, then you can't say that you changed. How about the future? What do you expect?
Well, I expect that depending on how things go in the US, I mean, it doesn't affect Canada that much, but COVID could possibly spread from the US to Canada if things get worse. So I don't expect things to be back to the old normal until like possibly late next year or even in a couple of years. But I don't expect us to go into lockdown again. So,
Well, let's hope so.
yeah.
Here it looks like we have to go to, because especially the young people, about 25, 35, between those years, they just seem not to care. They just go to bars and nightclubs and such, and it's ridiculous. They don't care at all.
Exactly.
Kids are doing well at school, they are washing hands, the daycare is doing well, they are washing hands, taking care of hygiene. Old people are usually taking care of hygiene, but this partying age people, they are forgetting that there's a corona hanging around, so let's see what will happen.
Yeah. Old people, or elders, I guess, they're trying to take care of themselves more because it affects them more than...
Here they got really annoyed in spring because we had this regulation that people over 70 should stay home and not go out. They went crazy. They said that I'm not staying home, I'm going out if I want to. It was a bit funny. They didn't care about their health. They just wanted to go out and see the friends. But yeah, I hope they stay safe.
Yeah.
How about globally? Do you think that this corona or this year altogether, because this year has been crazy in other ways as well, and there's been many changes, how do you think that it has affected globally the world, the whole world?
Well, it's very difficult to talk about that because some countries COVID affected them earlier than others. So yeah, since China was the first to be affected, they're probably doing much better than, let's say, Italy a couple months ago, where everything was, they had their second lockdown of the year.
And it's happening in Spain now.
Really? Oh no.
Yeah, Madrid is in lockdown. People can't go out of Madrid. It was just yesterday in news, I think.
Oh no.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Your thought, you were saying.
It's fine. I mean, in the US, nothing has, or the US and Canada, I should talk about both together. I think there's a lockdown somewhere. Like, I can't remember what state it was in the US, but most things are, they haven't advanced, but we're not doing that worse and either. So there's not many changes here in Canada from what I know of anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, it's your opinion and your knowledge. Not, you don't have to know everything. No one knows everything.
No.
And few people know any facts anyway. They just pretend that they do. So it's not. Of course, it's your opinion. How about? Do you have opinion on all the other changes this year? Because there have been so many smaller things and different things, and I think this year so many things have changed in the world. Not necessarily just the corona, but many other things as well.
Yeah, because I know Australia got ripped apart by all the fires. Then it
Mm.
got flooded right
Yeah.
after. So the fires got put out, but so Australia wasn't doing well earlier this year.
Mm.
Obviously, there was coronavirus. There was also um, political things that I do not want to get tangled into because I
Yeah.
don't understand any of that. But
Yeah, and board gaming is not necessarily the correct forum to do that either, maybe.
yeah, all I know is that a lot of bad things. Oh, fire tornadoes. Did you hear about the fire tornadoes in the U.S.?
Yeah, I heard, but I didn't want to read more. They seemed so scary. But US is so far from me that I'm so happy that they don't exist here.
Yeah, me neither. I would be terrified if there was a fire tornado just starting up in Canada.
Yeah, but I think they are in the southern parts of North America, in California mostly, right? It was in California, or do I remember wrong?
I think so.
Yeah. It's been crazy there also.
Yes.
What do you think about change as a whole? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it situational? And how does it show? And what's your thoughts on change?
Well, this year it's mostly been bad, so
Hmm.
there were a few good things that happened, but not enough to cover up all the bad things that were happening. Even though they
Hmm.
didn't all affect me, um, the world still hurts from it. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten coronavirus yet, but it's still it's still affecting us. It's
Hmm.
still I was in Australia, but I could feel. I understand how they felt when like all their trees, all their crops got burned.
Hmm.
Speaking of fires, we had a couple wildfires up north of where we are, so we just had this
Hmm.
huge pile of smoke all over
Yeah.
the city. So
Yeah, and there's lots of forest in the north.
yeah,
I
exactly.
think the climate is about the same as where I live, so I can just imagine how much wood there is to burn.
Yeah,
That's not good.
no, no. Fire and wood together are never good.
Unless in an oven. We're warming this house with an oven and a fireplace, so it's good there, but as long as it stays behind the door.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add for this discussion on change and your school and how it went? Do you feel that you forgot to say something that you wanted to say, or is there something you want to add?
I don't. No, I don't think so.
So we can move on to the top 9 list that you've decided topic on. What is the topic of our top 9 list this time?
Okay, so mine is top 9 cooperative board games.
Alright, I put games to my notes, but let's see, one of mine is just a card game, but I guess it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you make your list?
Um. Well, we made a list about lists.
Mhm.
So we put different themes that I wanted to talk about. So we were doing process of elimination, or at least I was,
Mhm.
because I didn't want to have like 3 topics, and then
Mhm.
so we ended up settling on cooperative games. So
Mhm.
then I went onto Board Game Geek. I typed in a board game I reviewed, and then um, I was scrolling down from my BGG ratings
Mhm.
on what cooperative games I should talk about. So I talked about the ones I like the most going down.
Mhm.
I just realized my list has a lot of creepy or intense themed board games on it.
Mine also has a few, maybe half of them are. I made my list so that I checked from Board Game Geek all the cooperative games that I've ranked, and I said prior to this recording that I don't really like cooperative games. Okay, I'm wrong. It seems that I've played quite a lot of them. I think it was over 100, if possible. It was a really long list. But then again, all the unlocks and all the exits are there in the list, so that increases the number.
Right.
And I didn't put them in the order that which I like the most. I put them in the order that which, in my opinion, feels most cooperative. But the games that are on the list I qualified according to how much I like them. So these are the 9 cooperative games that I like the most. Maybe one not, but 8 I like the most. But they are ranked in order of how much they feel like the cooperation is within the game.
Right.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I mixed around 2 because it made much more sense for me to say this one game after this other one because they're kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you'll see later on.
Alright. I've been asking the guests to do the numbers, so you can try to be Eric Summerer if you know who he is. Probably you do. And you can announce the number and begin the list if you're ready. Are you ready? We begin from 9 and go up to 1.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Alright. Go ahead.
Okay. Number 9. Flashpoint. I really quite used to love it a lot. Like, it hit the table so often. We played it, like, weekly, almost. Maybe monthly, but still, that's very often. I still quite like it, but it doesn't hit the tables often because there are some games that have surpassed it. When we do take it off the shelf, though, I do still quite enjoy it. So, that is Flashpoint.
I've only played Flashpoint 2 times. It was too simple for me at the time. And I don't have access to the game, so I haven't played it again. But I would if someone suggested it to me. It's not a bad game, but I don't like it that much. My number 9 is Legendary, a Marvel deck building game. I like this more than the rank tells, but because this is a semi-cooperative, I put it last. I will not play this in the semi-cooperative way so that people count the points and compete at who gets the most points, because then you're just hurting the other players. I don't like it. And this is a deck building game where you are trying to win the evil guy and ruin their schemes, and you have too many heroes to choose from, and then you build your deck and you try to win the game.
Mm-hmm. I actually thought that I might put that one on this list because I quite enjoy it personally. I feel that we don't use the count of the points because, like, it's kind of a you don't have to use it, but I mean, the rulebook suggests you do it, but that's not the point. Like, you're trying to work together. You're not trying to work together and then backstab each other. That's not the point of the game. So that's why whenever we play that one, we tend to not use that variant.
Yeah, I've had one bad experience on this because one guy was taking all the cards that would have suited my deck, and my deck didn't work at all because he took all the cards that I should have been able to get. I got annoyed at that game that why are you doing this, that this is a cooperative game. I want the points. I said that I'm never playing this with points again after this.
Right.
Okay, now you're number 8.
Okay. Number 8 for me is Rescue Polar Bears. I like this one a lot, but this one we have never beaten at all. Like, it's it's very luck based, which is not one of my favorite parts, but it's fun. The bears can't swim, which aggravates all of us, but we have a fun time playing, so that's the point that matters.
I haven't played this, but it looks so cute. I really want to try it, but I've understood that it's quite difficult also.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I would definitely try this, especially with the family. Maybe the daughter would like it, but if it's too difficult, then it might be interesting. But I want to try this. I haven't even seen a copy of it.
Right. Well, if you do get your hands on a copy, try it out, and hopefully, if you beat the game, let me know. And I will be quite jealous.
I will. How many players have you played it with?
We've played it with 3. I think we've played it once with 4 players. We usually play it with 3.
Okay, we will play it with 3 and 2 probably, if I will get the game. So I was just thinking that if it's difficult with 3, maybe then it's difficult with 3.
Yep.
Alright. My number 8 is Arkham Horror, the second edition, not the third one. I haven't played the third one, but as far as I've understood, it's not as good. This is... How can I say? Nothing has beat this game in my mind, because this has so much theme in it, and it always goes to the very end of the game. It escalates, but it escalates slowly, and this game is really punishing. I don't like it that it's so punishing that you roll the die and then you don't get what you want and your turn is gone, but the feeling in the game is really good. I wouldn't play it with 6 players again, but from 1 to 4 this is a really good game.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've played this earlier version or if you've played the newer version either, but this is a really good thematic cooperative game in my opinion.
Yeah, I played the earlier version once, but well, I'll tell you in my after my number 7.
Okay, spoilers. All right.
Okay, my number 7 is Arkham Horror, the card game. Yeah, so this is the first really creepy themed game. I feel that this one's lower on my list though because it's very luck based. There's like randomness of the cards. There is replayability, but because they're the chip pull, you rely on the chip pull so often. Spoilers, sorry. It's very luck based. So yeah, I played the second edition. The third edition is the card game, right?
It's the one with the modular board. And it has scripted these missions, if I've understood right. They tried to make it into Mansions of Madness style, that you go through a mission. And the second edition is more freeform, that there is that huge map of Arkham and then you just do what you do and try to beat the Elder God that is coming.
Right. So yeah, I played the second edition once, but since we were getting the card game, we were deciding that we should get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't enjoy the second edition as much as I enjoy the card game, surprisingly. But because the second edition is so long, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's really long with more than 2 players.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking this Lord of the Rings, the card game, which is like a previous version of this Arkham Horror, the card game. But I sold my copy and I thought that maybe it doesn't belong to the list and I don't really support these living card games. I'm not getting into them. If I was getting into them, I would have definitely got this Arkham Horror card game, but I don't want to. It's just too much expansions and that's just too much new content.
I mean, I hear you because, yeah, the expansions, you could keep playing what comes in the box, but it's not as exciting. Like, we have so many expansions for the card game. Like, I actually reviewed the base game, and one of the expansions is going to be going up soon if it's not already up. So, yeah, we spent a lot of time and money on this, but we enjoy it. We all enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm sure that it's a good game, but I just wanted to get rid of these living card games. I've had Star Wars, Android Netrunner, and this Lord of the Rings, but all of them I've sold forward because I decided that I'm not getting into that, and I'm not getting into miniature games either. I've done that earlier, I don't want to do it again. It's just too time consuming. I like board games more. But I'm sure it's a good game. My number 7 is Spirit Island. And I have to admit that I've only played this once. Because I couldn't get a copy very easily. I just got the copy a while ago for a fine price. And I just got the expansion as a birthday present from my daughter. Well, I got to decide what she's getting me. But anyway, I got the Branch and Claw, and I'm so eager to play this solo, but I haven't done that yet. This is really difficult puzzle, and this should be probably higher on the list, but I still feel that the spirits are separate. They just have a shared goal, but they have to put their influence and everything separate on the board. So they are working individually, but they have the same goal. And like I said in the beginning, I tried to make this list according to how cooperative the game feels. And like in the previous ones, you've had your own thing and just a shared goal. I'm trying to go into shared things and shared goal from here.
Yeah.
Have you played Spirit Island?
Yes, I reviewed that one as well. I don't want to spoil anything, so...
Then don't spoil.
So I will not give any thoughts, but yes, I reviewed Spirit Island. Actually, all of these games, yes, I've reviewed, so on my list at least.
Now you're spoiling. Spirit Island, a great game. I want to play it again quite soon, sooner than later.
My number 6 is Aeons and Legacy. I love deck builders. I was actually going to make a list about deck builders, but I decided to settle on cooperative games. I just love that deck building. I love monsters. I love card. Well, it's kind of a card drafting game, kind of more deck builder. But I love monsters. I love magic and spoilers. Once again, spoilers. You get to design your characters. Like, as you go, you design your characters. And I just love that.
I really want to play this game, even the basic version. I don't know anyone who owns it. I can't play it. I don't want to get into it, but this is one of the most interesting games to me to try. If given the possibility, I really want to try it. It has this system that you don't shuffle your discard when you make it into a deck, right?
No, you don't.
That sounds really interesting to me.
Yeah, the order you put your cards back in your discard pile forms your deck, so it's really important on what cards you put down first, because if you put your crummy cards down first, then you're going to have a bad hand.
Yeah.
So it really matters.
Yeah, I really want to try that game so much, but I don't know anyone who has it. I'm not sure if I will like it, so I'm not going to buy it, but I will try it if I have the chance to do that. Alright, my number 6 is Gloomhaven, and this also might be higher if it was according to the quality of the game, but here also you have your separate goals and you have to work together and so on. Also, I haven't played this for a few years. I backed the first Kickstarter originally, so I received a copy years ago, before it was hot. And this is like, it's a masterpiece from a quite new designer, and I just appreciate this. And maybe it deserves the place on the Board Game Geeks top 100 at number 1. But yeah, great game and good story also, especially considering how huge box it is and how much content there is.
I hope you enjoy Gloomhaven, because I myself have never tried it, but we don't even have the game. I don't think we have the game anyway. Before my parents say, oh, we do have the game. So if I manage to try it, I will let you know, but you seem to love it, so that's a good sign.
You should probably begin with Jaws of the Lion. I think that's the way to do. I'm waiting for my copy of that game, and I will definitely try to get it to the table, and then go back to continuing Gloomhaven after playing that. I'm not touching Gloomhaven until I'm done with Jaws of the Lion. I've understood that it's like a entry into Gloomhaven, and it holds your hand in a way in the beginning to learn that system, so you don't have to learn Gloomhaven again.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, I think it works well.
Sure. So, my number 5 is Aeon's End. We, again, have spent so much money on this. We have Legacy, we have the base game, we have a lot of expansions. My feelings for this are the same as I said for Legacy, except that you can't design the characters. It's just you choose from a selection. Since it's not a Legacy game, you can't like write on the boards because that would destroy them, right? I still really enjoy it. Once again, the theme is scary themed. Yeah, I really like it. It's not super long. It's a couple of hours, but it's not like 6 hours like some board games. So I reviewed that one and Legacy too. So check them out.
So you like this one more than the Legacy?
I actually put Legacy higher up on my list, which is weird because it's lower on the list here, but I thought we were going to be doing 1 to 9 instead of 9 to 1. But yeah, it's higher rated on BGG than the base game, if I remember correctly. But I do still quite enjoy the base game.
Well, which one is better?
I feel, well, and then since we have all the expansions, there's so many cards. Legacy, we would need the reset pack, and we would need to wait a little longer because you still might remember the story from the last time we played. So
yeah, that's a good point. It's exactly the reason why I threw Pandemic Legacy and Time Stories out of this list, because they cannot be played again. I don't have either one of them. They might be on the list, but they are not, because Legacy is Legacy.
We had Time Stories on our shelf, but we never broke the tokens like you're supposed to. We just put a piece of clear tape with an X on it instead of actually snapping it. That way, if we ever got rid of the game, it wouldn't be broken. You'd still have the tokens. We'd just take the tape off. The expansions, I also reviewed a few of them. One of them, my parents hated, so they got rid of it before I even got the chance to play it. I think it was the dragon one.
My group also hated that because it was like a Dungeons and Dragons. They didn't like it at all.
Oh, well, my parents love Dungeons and Dragons. I actually have a session with one of our family friends, but maybe it just wasn't good enough. Their favorite one, though, was Expedition Endurance. I won't say if it's my favorite or not, though, because I reviewed that one.
My favorite was Marcy Case, I think, because it was the first expansion and it did the ending very nicely. I liked how it did. I just liked it for some reason.
Right.
But I liked the Dragon one also, but the others in the group didn't like it at all. They got annoyed with it. Having to do it 4 times is not good, because you lose due to a die roll at the end of the run, so it's not good.
Right. Right.
We're at 5, right?
Yes.
Yes. My number 5 is Xenoshift Onslaught. I haven't played the Dreadmire. This was a huge surprise to me, that how much I liked it. And I like it because this is a cooperative deck building game. But what's the twist in this is that you get these waves of aliens attacking, and both of you get it. It's like this tower defense thing. But you can play cards to your, like who you're playing with, you can play cards to their lane. So you don't have to, if you have 3 soldiers in your hand, you can play one of them to your friend if they don't have units to defend. and if they get hit, you can heal them. I mean their units. So it's like it feels like you are cooperating, because your hand cards will help the others if they draw badly. So
Right.
if you play a 3-player game, you have 3 hands to choose from. Of course, you lose then the card, so you will give the card away for free, but it really feels cooperative in that way.
Right. So, once again, that's another game that I haven't tried, but oops. If you say it's really cooperative, maybe at a convention or something, if I come across it, I will try it. So.
I think newer version, this Dreadmire, has some fixed rules. I have the rules printed for myself. I would get the Dreadmire also if it was somewhere cheap, because you can combine them. You probably should try the Dreadmire. It has a bit different theming, but it's still this Starship Troopers. That people are shooting these alien, some kind of insects that are trying to attack.
Cool. So, my number 4 is Chronicles of Crime. This theme, since I was a little younger, I wasn't as old as I am now. Like, it was kind of intense for me. So, I have a little story. When I first walked up to Lucky Duck Games' booth, which is the publisher, they saw me, and I was looking at the VR glasses for Chronicles of Crime, and the guy working there was like, maybe you shouldn't try this. It's more of an adult game. And then I'm like, oh God, I forgot to introduce myself. So I walked up to another guy. Well, the first guy that we met was showing Mom and Dad Chronicles of Crime, and he's like, oh my gosh, I know you. And then he's like, and then he said to the other guy, give them Chronicles of Crime. And the first guy's like, okay. And then he took a look at the second guy's phone and watched one of my videos. And he's like, oh, yeah, take this. So I really enjoyed it. Obviously, some cases were a little intense, so we had to do something else afterwards. And I know this didn't matter anything, but it tends to be right before bed. So every once in a while, I had the occasional bad dream about Chronicles of Crime cases. Noir and Welcome Redview are expansions for Chronicles of Crime. I reviewed both. There are also downloadable content for Chronicles of Crime and the expansions. You can make your own cases, which is no idea how you can do that, but
it sounds so difficult also.
It's not difficult to learn, but yes, the choices there are so tricky. Like you're it's not a real-time game, but you're on kind of a real life timer. So
I meant making your own cases sounds so difficult that you have to put all the connections so that they work properly.
Yeah, especially since there's an app, like you scan, there's like QR codes on each of the cards, so I have no idea how you can get that to happen.
I have to make a confession. This is a game that I still haven't played. I'm all the time checking when making order that is there still Chronicles of Crime in the stock. Okay, there is. I have no rush to get this, but one day I'm ordering this or getting a used copy. Actually, a friend of mine here close by is saying that he will sell his, so I'm queuing that. I'm waiting for that to come to me. I'm so interested in this game. I even actually tried to back it when it was in the Kickstarter many years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. But I thought that, okay, I'm not backing this for now. There was some reason why I cancelled my pledge then. But yeah, I'm really interested to play this. I've only heard good things. No one has said anything bad about this.
Well, I won't say anything more. I will not say anything more because I reviewed the for Chronicles of Crime and the 2 expansions, so I keep spoiling things.
Did you get or will you get they had the year version now that was in Kickstarter? They have these different years that the stories are tied in.
Oh, the new? No, we didn't get the new one.
I think they are just coming out now or something. If I saw a picture of one somewhere in social media. They seem really cool also.
Because I heard it's fine. We looked at it and it looks amazing. But yeah, we haven't gotten the time to order it yet. So
there you go. That's your next order then.
Yep.
Alright. My number 4 is Robinson Crusoe. And this is really punishing game. And I feel that from now on it's less and less that you have individual goals. Here you have your individual characters. Yeah, you can do what you want. If you want to build a raft, you can build the raft, but then it will ruin everyone else's life. So maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should think together what to do and decide that these are the important things that we do, and then decide who does what. Because you can use who does something best to do that thing. But if you go here totally like, I want to do this, I don't listen to you, you're ruined. And that's it. This is really difficult game. And
that sounds difficult.
Have you played this Robinson Crusoe?
No, I've seen it. I've seen people play it, but I've never played it myself. Like, we haven't touched it.
You might actually like this. I mean, I'm thinking your list. This might be good for you.
Maybe. Hopefully it will be. Maybe it will be.
It might be interesting to you, but it's really difficult and it's really punishing.
Right. Yeah, if it's punishing, if it's very difficult, we'll probably like it. That sounds kind of like Rescue Polar Bears, but a different theme, of course, different mechanisms, but still, like, if it's that hard or that difficult, it sounds interesting, so.
Yeah, I'm thinking what I've heard you speak, I think this would be perfect for you to play at home even or something. I play this with my wife. I'm not taking it to a board game club or something. I play it at home because it's really good with 2 and 3.
Right. Okay.
Alright.
My number 3 is Burgle Brothers. Our whole family is a huge fan of Tim Powers games. Like, we love his game design. We've loved like almost every game he's every game he's played. Not almost. There's one we haven't tried yet. But it's the theme. You are like, well, hearing the name Burgle. You are like robbers, and you're in this bank, or you're in an office, and you're trying to crack the safe code on each floor and not get caught by the guard. If you get caught by the guard too many times, you lose. And so every time we've won a few times. We haven't won every time, but we love it. Our whole family loves it.
I haven't played this either. You're choosing games that I haven't played. Did you check my played list? I've only played Flashpoint from your list so far, but let's see.
You probably. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, say.
You probably haven't played my number 1 on the list. You might have played my number 2, but we'll see.
Yeah, okay. But I've seen Burgle Bros being played and it looked good. I had possibility to join that game, but I had to go to eat at that time. It was in a convention last year, 1 year ago actually.
Right.
I had to go to eat at that time, so I skipped that game. Or was it 2 years ago? Anyway, 1 year or 2 years ago, I had the possibility to join that game, but I didn't. It looks nice, and Tim Fowler's art, I like that a lot. We like this. What's the word game called? I'm blanking now.
Paperback or word domination? Oh wait,
paperback,
no.
yes.
Yeah, Tim Powers made paperback. there's hardback as well. So
Yeah,
there are quite a few
we
board
ha-
games that Tim Bowers made.
yeah. We have the hardback. I backed that and the expansion to paperback. We didn't get to try hardback yet, but paperback is fine and quite good actually. Much better than Scrabble, and we liked it also. My number 3 is very different from everything before, and this is Magic Maze. And this really feels cooperative because you are controlling the same characters. You have these 4 characters who try to take their things from the closed mall and then get out before the alarm goes off. And this is really a bit stressful at times. And this has the best component in all the board games in the world, this big red pawn that you can hit in front of someone if they are slow or if they are acting stupid and don't do what they are supposed to do. You can hit it there so hard as you can, or you can keep banging it, and it's so annoying pawn that it should be burnt after every game. But this is really a lot of fun, much lighter than the games that I usually like, and this is a good one. I have the junior version and we played with the family and with the kid already, and she also liked it a lot, and we are supposed to advance to the a bit more difficult missions in that one. Not to this one yet, but I'll try this with her soon.
Oh, that's exciting. I really hope your daughter enjoys it. Let's keep moving on, I guess.
Yep.
So my number 2 is The Walking Dead: No Sanctuary. I don't. Have you played that one?
No.
Oh.
I don't even look at Walking Dead stuff anymore. The series got so boring that I'm not interested at all.
Right. Well, I haven't seen the TV series either, but the game is very cooperative. Like you are constantly fleeing together, fighting together, but sometimes you have to split up, right? Like just to like, because there's different, not tasks really, but there's like different event or items that you can collect in the different buildings. The minis look awesome, but the quality of them is only okay. Like, because a few of them broke. Like my dad had to reglue parts of the minis back on. But yeah, the game has tons of characters, quite a few maps, a lot of different zombie types, different scenarios. So there's quite a bit of variety in this one.
Haven't played, probably won't play unless someone says that this here is a quick to learn and good game and really praises it, then I might play it. But I'm not interested in the theme at all. Alright, my number 2 is Hanabi. And have you played Hanabi, by the way?
No, no, wait, that's the firework one. It's not a...
Yes, it's the card game.
Is it a habit?
Yeah, No, it's Abacus-Spiele originally. It's R&R in US, I think, or in the North America.
Right.
I'm not sure. But this is a cooperative card game where you try to make great fireworks and you have a hand of cards, and on your turn you either give a tip or play a card or discard a card, and that's it. Why would you give a tip? You would give a tip because you don't see your own cards. So you are seeing just the back of your cards and everyone else sees your cards and you see everyone else's cards. So you have to give a tip to them that what number or color they have in their hand. But if you say that you have a number 3, you have to point all the number 3s in the hand. Or if you say that you have white, you have to point all the whites. And then you deduce from the cards in your hand that this one has to be this one and this one. You can turn the cards around and such, and then when you think that you can play a card, then you play a card, and this is really, really good game. I've played this 52 times, or tracked it 52 times, maybe 1 or 2 times more I've played it.
Whoa.
And it's perfect with 3 players. 2 players is so and so. Board Game Geek says best with 4, but I think it's best with 3. 3 people who know some house rules how to play it, so it really becomes possible to reach the highest possible score. So this is one of my most played games of all time.
That's awesome. Sorry. I just thought it was a hobby game. by accident. Like we played Miyabi, which is a habit game, just the other
Yeah.
day. So
Almost the same. I want to try Miyabi also. It seems interesting.
right. Oh no, I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, let's move on to number one.
All right.
Number one for me is Street Masters. Now, this game was my game of the year for 2018, which was 2018. So I quite like it. I still really like it. Again, there's lots of varieties in the what characters you can pick depending on if you get any expansions or not too. That adds more characters. There's a lot of maps. The turns, though they can be long sometimes, they're tense and exciting, but they're pretty quick. Like they're not 10-minute turns. Like they're 5 minutes maybe at the longest. Sometimes you're just like move one space, pick this up, boom, it's your turn. Like,
is this the game that is like Double Dragon? If you know the Nintendo or Atari game, the old video game that you cooperatively play and you try to advance on a stage and then you have some big boss and then you try to win the big boss. I haven't played this, but I don't remember this game how it was. I've seen something about it.
Right, I haven't heard of it. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. For your number two, Hanabi? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
It reminds me of a game I've played and reviewed called Click Click Boom, where you're at a saloon. Your animal's at a saloon, and your cards are facing outwards. So your opponents pick what card that you're going to be playing. So it could be bullets, it could be something else, it could be the bomb, which is your boom card. So it's a really fast part of the game. Like with the cards facing outwards, that just came into Click Click Boom just came into my mind. So
yeah, I don't think there are many games with this wrong way facing cards. This Hanabi was probably the first. It was 2010, and then there's been a few more, but it could be used more, this mechanism. I think it's quite cool and you can do some tricks with it.
Yeah. What is your number one?
My number one is a bit of a cheat because it's exit and unlock. So basically this puzzle game series, they are just perfect for cooperative play, especially for two people. They are all cooperative and all of them are very, very, very good, and you have to work together. You can't, of course you can play them solo if you want to, but if you are playing them with someone else, you can't just do what you want. You have to cooperate. Of course you can do that. I do this, but still you need to cooperate in many of these things. I've played all of them just two-player with the wife, and we've played almost all exits, not the newest cycle, and from Unlock we haven't played Star Wars and Epic, but everything else from that we've played.
Well,
and first we liked Exit more, but we are turning into Unlock now because Exit has been a bit too similar lately, what we played, and Unlock is renewing itself because it uses app, and that's a positive thing because it can do this augmented reality stuff also using the app, and that's just a bit extra, a bit like Chronicles of Crime is using this QR codes and AR also, and it's really, 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 really good.
Yeah, I've played one exit and I think two unlocks. So the exit I played was the Secret Lab. I reviewed that one. The one unlock I remember playing is the Tombstone Express. We played that one at a convention. So,
did you like that?
Well, I don't want to spoil, so I'm not saying if I do or I don't.
It's one of the worst in our opinion. It's probably my wife's least favorite because there was that one thing there that you have to do with the bullet things. Not to spoil what happens, but she didn't like it at all. At all. She left me alone. She said that I'm not playing this anymore. This is stupid. So she didn't like that. It was okay to me. And Secret Lab is probably the best to begin the exits with. Maybe this abandoned cabin, maybe, but Secret Lab is the best. There are some that are on the rails, like the one in the north with the lights. What's it called? I don't remember the name. But that one is on rails. When you begin, you just continue forward. And there was one other one that is like that. That you can't like go here and there, but you go straight in a straight line. So it's a bit. These we didn't like. They were too easy.
Right. Well, unfortunately, I have to spoil this, but we didn't like exit that much.
Mm-hmm.
We only played one exit game, but still, we didn't like it that much.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the unlock games, I can't remember what the other one was. I clearly remember Tombstone Express. I clearly remember that. This was it called The Escape? Is The Escape one? Escape is a series.
The Escape Adventures is the first 3. It's a boxed set. This unlock Escape Adventures.
That's right. Oh no, I can't remember. Well,
there's the formula, Squeak and Sausage there, and then there's this Island of Dr. Goors are in the first set.
That's what it was. Unlock the formula. That's what it was.
Because in the North America, these first boxes were separate missions. So here in Europe, you get 3 in one box, and in the North America, you got 1. So you had to buy 3 separate ones. So it would be Unlock Escape Adventures, the formula, the name of that.
Yeah.
That's actually the first one that I played.
Right.
I've rated it 8.
Sorry, go ahead.
I've rated it 8.3, it seems.
So quite good.
Yeah, for us, the formula was also the first unlock game that we played. I'm pretty sure the first one we tried though was the Secret Lab, which is the exit. But still, we enjoyed, in general thoughts, we enjoyed the unlock games. We didn't seem to like the exit games.
The best thing in exit is that you destroy them and they are one use, and in unlock the best thing is that you can just play them, resort them again, and just sell them onwards. And
exactly.
That's it.
Because the exit games are like legacy games, whereas
Yes.
unlock you can play over and over again.
yeah,
I mean, you'll know how
That's
to beat
true.
you'll know how to beat it, but you can still have fun with it.
you can gift it to someone else,
Yeah,
or you can sell them or something. It's not one use. It's actually good thing with the game. So, what do you think your chances are winning me in a battle of these lists? You said prior to this list that you will enjoy beating me, but what do you think now when you've heard the lists?
I don't know your list. I mean, I didn't recognize a lot of your games, but
Same. I didn't. I haven't played. I've played only Flashpoint from your list.
I don't know. It'll be a tough one. I don't want to brag and say that my list is better, but I do. I think you did a great job on your list. For me, after writing down my list, I changed how I was going to be talking about the list after going from 9 to 1. And the way that I wrote it down, it just didn't feel natural. So I don't know. I think your list might win.
Yeah, I think you had lots of games. I mean, more than half of these games that you listed are games that I want to try, because I want to try either one of these Aeon's End. I would play Arkham Horror card game if I didn't own it myself. I would try it. Rescue Polar Bears is interesting. Chronicles of Crime I will definitely get at some point. And then Burgle Bros I would play if given the chance, but I'm not going to seek playing it. Walking Dead I will stay away from unless I'm forced to play it, and Street Masters I have no opinion on because I don't remember how the game is. I mean, without looking now.
Right, of course.
But yeah, you have really a few of these games that I really want to play. But my list is better. Of course, it's better to me because I played them and I made the list. But yeah, let's see who wins. There's no prize or anything, just honor and...
Yes, honor
Possibly
and
pride.
honor, pride, and if you win, you'll have more fame than I will.
I don't think it affects that much. I don't have that big audience. But you do. So maybe that's fine. Anyway, thank you for being a guest and thanks for chat. And it was really interesting to hear about the school things in there. So I get more aspects and more opinions, also thinking of my own profession and my interest in this professional life, not only board games. If people want to know you, or not know you, but find you from somewhere, where can they find you?
Okay, so on YouTube, I am the Cardboard Kid, which is simple because that's my name.
Mm-hmm.
On Twitter, I am at cardboard_kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. I don't use Instagram. I don't really use Facebook. So I'll be on Twitter and YouTube most often. So if you want to check me out on there, go ahead. If you, Yanni, want to further look into any of the games that I suggested on my list, well, you can find them on my channel somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I post new videos every week, so that way you don't have to sit around and wait for a new video to come out. So,
And I have to add that if you want to hear some great opinions from the Cardboard Kid, you should watch this Girls Game Shelves. Is it monthly video that you do?
yeah.
Where there are lots of contributors and you have these short clips. I found you from there actually, and I mean, you had great opinions.
Really, on the bits and bobs video?
Yes, that one. The first and second one I've only watched so far, but they were so good. Whoever were there, but where you were, that was really good.
Thank
That
you.
clip.
Yeah, I sometimes stream with Girls Game Shelf. I do the bits and bobs with them, like where they're really, we work together a lot, we collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice me on their channel, please keep investigating theirs because they are amazing people. So yeah, I can't believe you found me out on Girls Game Shelf Bits and Bobs. That's...
And I even checked it by chance because I was looking at something like that to see this variety show, just to check something, and I just opened it and then I looked, these people, and I looked what the people are saying, and then I thought that you were so good in that one episode especially, that what I watched.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome, but that's the truth. Anyway, thank you for coming and hope you have a great day, and
I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for inviting me on your podcast. I wish you good luck, even though I hope to beat you. I wish you good luck. If you win, congrats. And I will say goodbye, I guess.
all right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening. You can find this podcast from SoundCloud with username Mitä pelataan. You can also find the podcast from Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Should be in Amazon Podcasts also at some point, and it should be found anywhere you listen to your podcasts. You can find me from Instagram and Twitter with username Mitä pelataan. There's a page in Facebook, Mitä pelata, and you can just search by Mitä pelataan and you should find me from many places. I have a blog, mitapelataan.wordpress.com, where you can find information about this channel and all the links to related media You should be able to find me from YouTube as well by searching Mitä pelataan. You can send me email to mitapelataan@gmail.com. There's also a guild in Boardgame Geek number 3321. Interact in any way you can, comment anything, up to you, but interact with me please. And if you listen this far, please leave a review, subscribe so that people find out about this podcast. And one more time, thank you for listening, and bye bye. The music used in this series was Nightwalker by Sentient Pulse. Thank you for that.